As time went on and her health was deteriorating, checkups and admissions to get medical clearance in order to undergo a double transplant for a kidney and liver were more frequent. This was just one of them. You have your room.
Oh, it's gonna be a bit dark later. This is me. I got my crazy right. You wanna? Oh. The left is with Sean. The right is with Clark.
No, it wasn't a claw. She just had some bruises. I think they were just letting it rest for a little bit.
If it's still gonna read high, then I'll.
Yeah. I think right now.
All right, checked in. All your TV programs ready to go. Got the hookup.
Did you eat?
Getting groomed up.
Getting fancy?
Huh?
Getting fancy? Your hair on fleek?
Stupid. On fleek.
I accept I'm not the deepest fisher of the ponds. I accept I'm not out on the ocean wrestling marlin. I even accept I have a higher risk of stroke due to AFib, a type of irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. But I won't go after anything with less than my best. So if I can go for something better than work.
In a couple of days, September 21st, is going to be a whole year since your double transplant. How do you feel?
Oh, right now I'm feeling great. I've been recuperating for the last year, almost. September 21st was when I had my transplant done. And I thank God because I didn't think I was gonna make it this far, to live this long. I thought I was not gonna make it.
What was the hardest part of recovering for you?
Well, it would be probably the dialysis. It was very draining.
Mm-hmm.
It would sometimes get me sent to the emergency rooms, and also put me into those semi-comas.
Mm-hmm.
And it was getting frequent, and it was not the best feeling in the world. Waking up in a hospital room and you don't know where you're at. Nobody's around you. You don't recognize anything.
Mm-hmm.
It was, terrifying at times.
From the surgery, like, what was the hardest part?
The hardest part probably was trying to get myself able to walk around and do things independently for myself. I had to have a lot of help.
Mm-hmm.
But every day went by, I got a little stronger, and I was determined, and I set a goal to get through it. And I think I'm almost like 99.9% fully recovered. Just a little, I need a little more reassurance that I'm able to do things independently. Since everybody has been hovering over me for all this time. That would be my loving daughters and my loving granddaughters that came to my rescue all the time and stood by me. My little family that was always there. And I couldn't have done it without them. I had all the support I needed. It might be a little family, but we do big things.
You're pretty much recovered, and
And also hepatitis C free. They treated me for that, so there's no hepatitis in my blood.
not anymore.
Not anymore. Zero.
Congratulations! I did not know this. I thought you were still on the
I
medication
finished.
for
I
it.
finished it. I took it for 3 months. The Herbani.
Do you remember the day of your transplant? Like when they found? Do you remember it all?
I wasn't responding.
When you got the news that you were getting a donor?
Then they rushed me to USC,
Mm-hmm.
and it was miraculously a liver and kidney for me. So they did the dual transplant
From one donor, right?
from one donor.
He was young.
Hmm?
They said he was young, right? The donor was supposedly young,
But I
and
haven't
healthy.
been able to reach out to the family yet. I was gonna give it a year before I got in touch with them to thank them and to let them know that their son or daughter saved my life. And USC, with the team they had, I was like, you couldn't have asked for a better. I had angels' hands all around me, let me put it like that. The Lord sent me a great team.
So, what are your goals now that you've had your transplant? What do you plan on doing?
I'm not sure what direction I'm taking right now. I'm kind of sorting things out in my mind. I'm planning a trip to Puerto Rico when it's safe. That was one of my goals that I set when I was being treated in dialysis and everything, that I was going to go to Puerto Rico. I was going to treat myself to a trip when all of this was over with. So I'm going to cash in on that goal. Hopefully. If those hurricanes stop. And then I'm just kind of reaching out to my culture and trying to get more research done on my Taino heritage. I want to learn more about it and the Taino carvings that they left behind, their artifacts. So I'm getting into reading about that now. Trying to learn the language, which is hard. It makes no sense. But that's not all I'm doing right now, and I'm thankful that I have a daughter that's letting me stay in her house, in her home, with her family, while I recuperated. So I'm very thankful for that.
What's your earliest childhood memory?
My what?
Your earliest childhood memory.
Oldest?
Earliest.
Earliest?
What's your earliest childhood memory? Or the first one that comes to mind?
I think it was when I was about 5 or 6 when I finally met my father. Oh,
How did that go? What was the situation or the story behind it?
well, he was away for a while for not doing the right thing. But he came out and they made arrangements for him to come and visit me, my grandmother. Very strict arrangements. And I remember that. It was, I guess, a happy memory. And then I remember going into kindergarten. I didn't know where I was at. My grandmother didn't prepare me for it. And I peed on myself. When she left me. So I always managed to get my kids ready for kindergarten. I always had that preschool for them, so they could get used to the school. But I didn't know where I was going that day.
What was your most favorite childhood memory?
I remember playing as a kid in the street as a little tomboy that I was, and playing with all my friends. It was like everybody from the block used to get together, like maybe 10 or 15 people in a group, and we would play street games. Like Johnny on the Pony, or Hot Bread and Butter, come and get your supper. It was fun in those days. It was just actual, natural fun. That's a great memory. Sleeping on the fire escapes in the Bronx. It was very safe at the time. Just like West Side Story.
You used to do that in the summer, right? Sleeping on the fire escapes?
Mm-hmm.
What else did you do in the summer?
Just about that. And then go to the beach, which is called Orchard Beach. They had I guess it was a man-made beach. And we used to take the 2 buses to get there, but we used to get there, and it was all filled with Puerto Ricans. Families. That was fun. And the fire escapes?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we used to put like sheets in the fire escapes. My grandmother used to have a lot of plants all around the fire escapes. And take our pillows and just lay out there and look at the stars. We also used to catch fireflies. They used to come in the hot summer, and you would see them, and we used to catch them and put them in a jar. See how many you could catch.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I remember you told me though you guys used to open the not that
Fire pump.
fire hydrant, not fire escapes. Yeah.
We used to call it la pompa, the pump. And I used to open it up and spray the cars that were passing by, the people that were trying to walk by. It was very powerful.
Yeah.
And you had to be able to hold a can to get it to spray, around and point it at people. So you had to hold it really tight and have a good grip on that can. I tried it once, but the can just flew away. I wasn't as hard as I thought I was.
What street did you grow up on?
Prospect Avenue,
Do you remember the address?
626 Prospect Avenue and 152nd Street. And then you asked me what happened yesterday. Forget it, I can't remember.
But you remember the address?
I can't remember the address that I live in right now.
Any memories with your grandmother?
Memories of my grandmother?
Mm-hmm.
She was a tough woman. She raised me and my sister on her own. I don't know if she was getting help for it or anything. But, you know, and she raised us well. Very strict. And I thank her for that now. Because it was that, they were, you know, it was very easy to get in trouble. So she kept us on a close rope. And used to scare the guys away. Yeah, we had a little monkey named Herbie.
Aw.
He used to have temper tantrums sometimes. And you put him in the bathroom because if you came walking through the door with groceries, he wanted to go through all the bags and take everything out. So we would put him in the bathroom and he would get mad there and he would open up the medicine cabinet and start throwing everything in the bathtub. And you could hear him screaming. It was funny. And then he just used to cuddle right next to you with his little washcloth, like a little blanket. He used to go under it at night and go to sleep. He was a good pet. I wish I had a ranch. I'd get a monkey. I'd get a big dog. I'll get all kinds of animals. Oh yeah, there was a Black Baptist church, and I had a little African American friend I used to hang out with. And we must have been like 7 or 8 years old. And one Sunday, I guess she wasn't up early, and I just left to go to church with her, and it was right around the corner from my house. And somehow she found out that I was in that church, and I was in there praising the Lord. Hey, hallelujah. Yes, Lord. Praising the Lord. And she walked in and she goes, "You're not from here. This is not your church. You're Catholic. This is not your church. Oh, come here." I was like, "Well, oh." And I had to leave the church. But it's funny. I laugh about it now. Because now I like churches that have the Holy Spirit. Well, I've learned, you know, I think that's probably why I've turned to Christianity. It gives you more lifting of the spirit.
Well, I'm glad overall you got your transplant, your double transplant. It's been pretty much a whole year. That's crazy. It went by fast, but you're doing good. And you managed to be able to take all your medications.
Yes,
Good.
I've learned to control my medications, and I'm doing good with my diabetes. I'm learning the numbers are getting lower. They took me off some heavy prednisone medication, and now my numbers are lower. So I'm slowly learning how to deal with diabetes for the last 3 years. I think I have a hang of it now.
Yeah. Yeah. You just gotta still take the rest of your anti-rejection medications. Well, you have to take it forever,
Yeah,
basically.
I'll have to take that for the rest of my life, probably.
Yeah. But you.
But they've taken a lot of medications away from me that I don't need anymore. And it's good because my stomach was just always, you know, cramping up and messing with my bowel movements. But now it's, you know, I finally got to the light at the end of the tunnel. So,
You look so much better than you did a year ago. Your skin's clear. You're healthy looking. You look more young.
I look back at some of those pictures and I said, "Oh my God, I look like The Walking Dead." I was like, really. My skin looked gray.
Okay.
I have to take care of myself. I'm going to be 65.
You're going to be 65 when?
November 3rd.
Yes, you are.
Happy birthday to me.
I'm glad you got your transplants. It was a long time waiting.
7 years.
7 years, yep. Long years, but you did it and it was meant to be. Second
Yes.
chance of life.
And I hope if I ever come across someone that is needing just some kind of guidance and, you know, with that issue, I will give them all the advice in the world that I could give them.
What do you have to say to those people going through what you went through?
Don't give up. Don't give up and fight, fight, fight. Determination. And be strong. Ask the Lord to guide you, and He will.
What was that? Cut? That's a wrap. All right. Well, thank you for your time, Grandma, and letting me do it. I love you too, and thank you for letting me do this documentary, second part documentary about you. I didn't really get to document your healing process because it's been tough since we don't live with each other anymore. But I mean, a year later, I got around to
The
it.
final edition.
Yeah. A year later, I got around to it and gotta ask you some questions. So, thank you for sitting out here. I know you're cold because I am.
I'll stick around for a while.
All right. I love you.
Love you more.